Hey everyone, welcome back to Local Ag. It's November 6, 2025. I'm Melody Divers from the Bedford County Ag Advisory Board, and it's time for our 16th episode. Our podcast dives deep into the world of farming, learning more about our local food and the incredible stories behind the people who grow our food. Joining us today, we have Dorothy McIntyre with the Forest Farmers Market. Welcome.
Good morning.
And we have Doug and Lucy Overstreet joining us from Idlewild Farm. Welcome, y'all.
Thank you.
Good morning.
The Overstreets have a farm located in Bedford, Virginia, and their farm has become a beloved source for quality pork, poultry in this region. And I'm thrilled to have y'all come today because we're going to talk a lot about turkeys today. I love it. So welcome, everybody. And I'm going to start with the Overstreets. So I'm just being nosy, and I know our listeners want to hear this too. Give us a little background on the farm itself. We want to know all the details, how it was started, what you currently offer, and even how you got the name for your farm. So we're nosy. Tell us all the things.
So our farm started in 2008, which happens to be the same year our family started. We got married in 2008. And I wanted a farm.
Yeah.
And I got what I wanted. So
Good for you.
There you go.
which maybe in hindsight was maybe not the wisest wish. No, it was great. So Doug's family is from Bedford. They grandparents, great aunts, great grandparents.
I mean, with the last name Overstreet, I know y'all from here.
That's right. And they had a farm that needed some tending. And luckily, the farm already had a name.
Uh-huh.
Because that is not my expertise of naming things. So you have to tell this part.
Yeah, so my great uncle purchased the property prior to World War II. So it's been in the family since before then. And so they named it Idlewild Farm. And so that's where we...
Do you know how they came up with the Idlewild?
No. We have some guesses, and we think that, LaGuardia out of New York used to be called Idlewild Airport. Mm-hmm. And when Roy came back from the war, that's of course, maybe not, but they think that's where the name came from, was there. So.
Well, on a side note, not that I know your farm's history, but I'm treating myself this year and rereading or re-listening to books from my childhood now that I'm an adult and see how they land. Or why did I like them when I was younger? So I'm now in the Anne of Green Gables series, and they have an Idlewild mentioned there. Very idyllic, setting, just pure space. And when I was reading, I was like, oh my gosh, did this have the connection there? But no, I know what you're talking about as well. But I think it just gives off that image of it's a pure space in nature that is being used, not magically, but as it was intended, kind of. That's the beautiful aspect of it. So when I was listening to that in my little journey I'm doing with my books that I'm doing this year, I just got really excited when I heard it in the book. But anyway, that's just a side note.
Or the Allman Brothers album.
Okay, and see, we have lots of theories here.
But yeah, so we'd started in '08. We started off as actually produce. And then when we started having our children, she was unable to do as much work in the garden, and my thumb's as pale as moonlight. So we ended up switching over to pork, pastured poultry,
And
laying
turkeys.
hens, eggs, and then eventually turkeys, yes. So, the rest is history.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Lucy, about the background? Maybe how did the community get to know you first?
We started by, a little sign at the end of the driveway, eggs for sale. Yeah. And then I guess it was 2010, the Forest Market started.
2011. I can't remember
2011.
if I contacted you or you contacted me, but it is a great relationship.
We were right there from the beginning.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. We did that for 10 years, and then
I think it was about 10, yeah.
So that was really fun, being a part of the energy to get that market going. And
Yes, they were core to the market.
Yeah.
In the first 10 years, we had about maybe 10 people that stayed that 10 years, that just continued to stay with us and grow the market. And then life goes on, and kids grow up, and soccer happens, and
So the market is a past chapter, not a current chapter.
that's correct. We stopped in 2021, I think is the last.
Pretty recent, yeah.
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 So
All right, but still good connections and relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, because Dorothy was like, I have somebody that I really want you to interview. And of course, it was y'all, and she thinks very highly of you. And I was like, I know them. Our kids used to bebop around together and hang out in Montvale. So this is fun, a little reunion. So since it is November, the month that houses Thanksgiving, we want to hear the details of local turkeys that you sell. And so folks are on our local ag Facebook page, Bedford County Local Ag. You saw a few weeks ago that there was something about your farm and a Google form that people could fill out to order fresh turkeys for this Thanksgiving. So are you all sold out for 2025?
we are not actually, which is
Oh, okay.
surprising. I kind of drug my feet on putting it out there. We have never had a problem selling out though.
So, but if listeners are interested, there's a spot. So at the end, maybe you can share how people can get in contact with you. But tell us about what it's like to raise local turkeys, and especially around Thanksgiving, and what that means for folks to get a local turkey for their holiday.
Well, when I say I got a late start, you actually have to order them like May or June.
Okay.
Because they are a 5-month growing period. And so they come to the farm in July, and they grow pretty quickly. We get them out on pasture by August, and that's where they stay until November, third week of November, basically.
Yeah.
So,
And how old are they, you said, when you get them?
day old.
Oh, okay. So they're like really itty bitties. All right. And do you have a particular breed, or is there something that folks need to know about in regards to what to look for when purchasing a turkey?
Well, we have done a few different breeds in the past. This year, we're actually doing 2 different breeds. There was a funny little back and forth between the supplier and I, and he did have them, and then he didn't have them. And it turned out being that we got the broad-breasted bronze and the white broad-breasted. So we have the white turkeys and the bronze, sorry.
And do you personally have a favorite in raising? And is there a favorite in the palate?
Well, they both are more of a, what would you say? Not engineered, but
Commercial.
yeah, commercial.
So they're not heritage breed.
Okay.
We've done heritage breed in the past as well, and really the price points kind of gets us, not only for the price of the chick, but they take longer to grow.
Okay.
So we've kind of went back to our I call them commercial turkeys, kind of like the So that's why we switched back to them. And the taste is great either way. I think it's the same way when we go with our chickens, like with our Freedom Rangers versus the Cornish Cross. Like, they are different, but they still have that same good quality. I think it has a lot to do with the pasturing and the bug eating and stuff like that. So,
All right.
so we don't have exact. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say that was going to be my next question about your farm practices, but before I jumped to my next question too soon. But if someone does want to order a turkey and they fill out the form, they'll come to your farm and pick it up?
So we process the week before.
Okay.
Usually, so Thursday's Thanksgiving. So we'll process either Friday or Saturday the week before and keep them chill. And then either that Sunday or Monday we'll have pickup times.
Okay.
And they can come out. It's like a little semi-party, We have, get to
It's nice
see
you get to
our...
see people that get their turkeys each year, and you'll see them there. You might not see them through the season, but you'll get to see
Okay.
them there. Get to walk the farm if you wanted to.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Especially now that we don't do the markets, like that's one thing we really miss is the community aspect of that. And so we have most of our customers are returning customers. Like we don't really advertise on Facebook much, but so it's mostly like returning customers on the email, and so we haven't seen them since last Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun.
So you have a good customer base of repeat customers.
Yes,
That's
for the
great.
most part, and yeah, so that's what we kind of do. It's kind of our version of a customer appreciation day.
So when you were talking, both of you said about getting the turkeys out on pasture. Can we talk about your unique farming practices? And for folks that don't know how this looks, what does raising a turkey, raising chickens, what does that look like on your farm? And why do you utilize the method of farming that you utilize? So just really spell it out for all of us.
How long we got?
Yeah, that's a little bit to unpack. I think I'll go back to maybe just the life of the turkey and start with a day-old chick. And then as soon as they have enough size and feathers to be out of the heat lamp, we can put them out on the pasture where they will stay in their pen. And then we move the pen so they can be on fresh grass. Then when they get to another sizable development, we can put them with a fence around them. And the fence is a movable, portable fence that we can then change where their pasture is so they can have access to the green grass. And
I know, like with cows, we have to have certain forages in front of them, certain types of grasses. Is that the same thing with chickens and turkey?
Not really. I mean, I think really the microbes and the bugs and stuff that they're getting, I think, is more important.
I'm just really interested in, is there a particular model of, what is that called for folks that don't know, when you're moving your crop of turkeys and chickens, what is that called?
Rotational grazing.
There we go. Yep.
I knew the answer, but I wanted the
Yeah, no, I know, but he's not gonna. You're gonna have to pull it hard.
Yeah. Dorothy knows that.
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes I know the answers, but I won't.
Yeah, he's.
So we rotate them, right? And I don't know if it's not as much as for the foraging like cows and stuff, but as much as for just the biological activity, so they can get their bugs and access to dirt because their crops are used to digest a lot of it as well, right? So it's kind of the reason why we do it, and I think that's what helps with the taste of the bird. It's not because we do supplement them too with the grain, and so they get that extra added nutrition, and it helps with the meat.
So how many turkeys are we talking about that y'all are raising right now?
We usually try to do about between 30 and 40.
Okay.
Year, but we decided to do plus 50 this year.
Oh, okay. So you kicked it up a little bit.
She did.
Oh, okay. All right. Y'all behave.
Will all 50 plus survive?
Well, so in the past we've always had trouble with, and it's been in the brooder. Turkeys are very fragile the first few weeks of life. So in the past we've actually had a lot of mortality, trouble with them surviving in the first few weeks of their life, but we kind of figured out how to we got lucky on lately for the last 3 or 4 years where we haven't lost many.
That's awesome.
And so I think we ordered 60, and so
with the expectation that
we'd probably lose 5-6 years ago we'd order 60 and hopefully we had 30, so we had
oh, I didn't realize the ratio was that.
Well, no, it was.
Oh,
the farm.
operator.
It was
error.
the operator. Yes, exactly.
turkeys do not like corners.
Yes, we found that out.
Have a corner in your brooder, or they will
Oh, this
pile.
is interesting.
And so you have to fashion a rounded corners.
How did you figure this out? Just you saw it, or
they
learning books and?
I'll just see it. So they will pile in the corners and literally suffocate each other. So
Get out! Oh my gosh!
yeah. So you wake up and you've got a pile of 10 dead turkeys
and they literally did it to themselves.
Right.
That was nothing.
Well, it could be the colder temps.
Okay.
They want to have heat, and
Sure.
so they just naturally pile up.
Okay.
And then it's just drop them in the bucket, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There goes $100.
Well,
So-
and predators, right? So
Okay.
our brooders outside. I mean, it's undercover, but we don't have it in a locked barn or anything like that. So you can have your night night predators come by, and they could scare them all into a corner too, and they could do it as well. So
this is not something I was thinking of asking, but what do you do about that? Does it just happen, or do you have different things? I know some people put like fake things out to scare, or to have sound machines. Like how involved do you get?
Outside dogs work pretty well.
Okay.
Because they're close to the house, right?
Yeah.
And so so and we've done many a night with a shotgun and waiting on them too.
Well, we also 3 years ago we lifted it up off the ground, the brooder,
and that helped a lot.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. It sounds like you guys, I'm always thinking of Ross going up the steps with the couch. Pivot. I'm thinking farming is the quintessential pivot. It seems like you're always having to refigure, step back, recalculate.
And the trouble with turkeys, we only do them one time a year, so we always forget.
Oh.
From one July to the next.
Oh, shoot. We wanted to remember this last year. Yeah.
So there goes to note keeping.
Yeah, that's how we are with cider, because we don't do cider all year. And inevitably we'll go, didn't we say last year we were going to? But then when we do remember something, we're like, high five, everybody. We remember that. It was a year, and we remembered that. So who do y'all get your inspiration from? Like, is there a particular person, book, ideology? Who really drives your enthusiasm for farming or your farm practices? Like, where did the inspiration come from?
Initially, I bought pretty hard into Joel Salatin and bought the You Can Farm book. Mm-hmm. And I heard him speak about it, all the things. Followed him pretty closely. Never went to his farm, though. And then that was kind of where we got our style of pasture poultry, and wanting to do a system where the animals and their animalness is actually determining what you do, instead of it being based on the human preference. It's based on the animal characteristics.
So just playing into what they're already providing.
That's right. Okay. And what they naturally do. Because training chickens is not very easy.
That doesn't sound like a fun thing I would want on my bingo card. So if you're following the ideas of Joel, my thought then is, do you have other animals grazing in the same areas with your chickens and turkeys?
We had a pony the other day.
Yeah, came in. But so when we were at our height, probably, we've scaled back a lot. But we had we would sometimes move the chickens in behind the pigs and stuff. But we also had that trouble with
There's the pig eating the chickens.
Get out.
That was the craziest thing. Yeah, one of our. I'm sorry, we could go down this road all day long. But so after that, we were kind of like, all right. So we kind of got them apart. I think she had an iron deficiency or something. I don't know, but whatever.
Something was not right there.
Yeah. She was a breeder, and I think she was lacking something. But whatever. I mean, a lot of that with Joel's, especially with the pork, we were noticing that moving them around, getting them on grass was big for the pork, because it seemed like it helped their digestion. They would eat, and then they'd go into the fields, and almost like it was a digestive thing. So it was so Joel was a big one, but I think more importantly than Joel was.
So Joel was kind of like a springboard, and then we were not following him exactly. We don't have the cows and different. The grazing technique wasn't a picture fit. But the other thing that really influenced us was just the nutritional side of farming. And I read a lot about Sally Fallon and her nourishing traditions, and just a different way of eating and providing food. And what that looked like was, just having a more whole food base to your diet. And so that was a big part of even wanting to continue farming, really, is just to have that food right there in your backyard, and also as a product that other people in your community can have access to easily.
Beautifully said. So we talked about that there are turkeys still available. Can you share with folks how they can secure a 2025 turkey from y'all's farm?
Well, I think the easiest is probably just an email to Idlewild Farm. It's IDLEWILDFARM@gmail.com. And we have a website you can check out as well.
When people come up, when they pick up the turkey, will they be able to purchase any pork or chicken? Do you have that there still, or
Good. So yeah, we've, we have cut back for. We still sell to the Health Nut in Lynchburg, the Well in Bedford. So we still do about 200 to 300 meat chickens a year, and we processed 9 pigs this year or 6 or something. So, but yeah, so we still have that, and yeah, man, we do on farm sales occasionally when you can catch us. But yeah, so if you do get a turkey, you can come out, and we'll probably have pork and chicken available for sale as well.
eggs? Not so much.
Yeah, so we kind of our egg production has dropped off dramatically. We lost one of our dogs, Morgan. Yeah, she passed away this summer. Merlin's doing a great job, but I think we're slowly getting culled out by the foxes and birds. But it's about time to replenish that. But eggs they're limited.
Probably enough for your family, and that's where it needs to stay. So you mentioned that people can find your pork and chicken in different spots.
Yep.
Well, and what was the place in
The Health
Lynchburg?
Nut
Okay.
and Windhurst and Forest. Yep, they still
And that's pork and chicken?
they do pork and chicken at the Health Nut. The Well does every now and then they have
Eggs at the Well. I've
Eggs.
gotten your eggs at the Well.
yeah.
And with pork, do you sell cuts, or are you selling, if someone wants to buy pork in bulk, can they do a pork share with you?
So we do. So no, we're selling by the cut.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do the whole and half hogs much anymore, just because we only do like 8, 9 a year, right? So, and we don't have any this year. So for this coming up year, so.
All right. Well, I think that we've really, I'm excited that you still have turkeys left over. So if listeners want to be a part of having a local Bedford County turkey, they can do that. And the other thing is there anything else we need to know about y'all, your farm, or anything else? Because we're getting ready to go into announcements, but is there something that we didn't go over that you just are like, hey, we need to say this?
I guess if you want to try farming, I encourage you greatly. We love to be a resource for people. If people want to come out, check out what we do, because it is unique. We're not the fanciest farm out there. We just kind of make it happen with what we got. So that can be encouraging to people to see, like, hey, I can do this too.
Right.
It's pretty accessible. Coming from an input status, you don't have to buy all in to get a few chickens and check it out. So I I like to encourage people to come out and just see how it is. A lot of times they're surprised that it's really not as big as you might in your mind think it is. And then I also love to include children in agriculture. We have 4 of our own, and they may or may not be farmers when they grow up, and that's fine too. But just to have them experience being outside with farm animals is very healthy and great for kids. Good experience for them to have. So,
I think what you just said, whether they're farmers or not, I think any farm kid, that lifestyle is not in vain, because whether they pursue farming or not, the work ethic, just knowing where their food comes from, there's so many things you can glean just by having your child around it, and whether or not they pursue it or not, it's not in vain. It's still going to be. I'm glad we did that.
There's a lot to unpack there, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And just the consistency, like it's every day. Doesn't matter if it's 100 or -5.
Work ethic, yes, yes. And something you're very welcoming about your encouragement and offering, and folks to stop by. I love that. Thank you for that. And how do they do that? I'm assuming you don't want people just to pop in. What does that look like if someone wants to chat with you or learn more?
Right. So when we have initial contacts for customers, a lot of times I will make a point to meet them and offer the farm tour, just kind of check it out. moving forward, we will set up times they can come pick up product, and because we don't always have time to meet and greet and chat.
Understood.
Even though that's a lovely way to do life, it's a little more busy than that. So generally, just reaching out through email or text.
And give us the ways people can connect with you one more time. So I love this idea of face-to-face, get to know who's the people raising and growing your food. And then, like you said, you can't always stop what you're doing and have a meet and greet. But if you schedule something, everyone can set time aside and make it a meaningful connection. And I love that. That is so welcoming. So give folks the connecting points one more time about how they can reach you.
Yeah, we got a website with all our information on it. It's www.idlewildfarm.org. And you can email us through that. It has our phone number and everything.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. It was great chatting with you and just getting to learn a little bit more about folks growing and raising our food right here in Bedford County. So since we have Dorothy with us today, and Dorothy, you are all things Forest Farmers Market. Go ahead and tell folks about what's going on with the Forest Farmers Market.
Sure. So we are still having markets. We changed times right now from 9 to, we were 8 to noon. We are now 9 to noon. So there's a little bit more light, a little bit more warmth, a little more camaraderie there going on. We will go till November 22nd. November 22nd is kind of like a holiday market. We have approximately 60 vendors that day, all varieties. There will be other farms in the area that might have turkeys there too, because there's quite a few. In the beginning, when I first had the Overstreets with us, we didn't have that many people doing turkeys, and now it seems that I think I have 3 or 4 that will be there too that might or might not. They need to check with that particular vendor.
Right.
Kind of thing. And then we'll have a market on December 13th, which is a holiday market right before Christmas, and we'll have about 55 vendors then.
But you will not have market in January or February?
We go once a month. We take a little bit of a break, and then we go the second Saturdays of the month from January to April.
Okay.
And those are 9 to noon also.
So you're never a month without the market. That just may look
Unless
different.
it snows.
Right. Okay. And I would say to look at your Facebook page.
And there's a website, forestfarmersmarket.com. I try and keep that updated at least with the dates.
Okay. Well, that is a good resource. So we've talked about Thanksgiving turkeys and going to the market to get what you need. Now we're going to talk about Christmas trees. Hatcher Christmas trees will be open for just one weekend in 2025, and you can join them November the 28th through 30th to get your Christmas tree. All trees are $60. They're located at 4064 Phoenix Mill Road, and that's in Bedford as well. To get up with them, you can call 540-330-9113. They also have a Facebook page and under Hatcher Christmas Trees. And on that Facebook page, they say what type of trees they have. So if you're looking for a particular tree, they note that on their Facebook page. So again, Hatcher Christmas tree sales will only be the weekend of November 28th, 29th, and 30th. So we are just rolling.
I believe they have a little bit of crafters that day too, don't they?
I think I saw that they're going to have, it said new this year, clay, like pottery and things like that. So I think it's going to be a fun event to go out there. We've got our Christmas tree there maybe 2 or 3 years. They're a really nice family, and we enjoyed chatting with them. Last year that we just went out in the cow field and got an old cedar tree and kept it really just a little hometown, little country Christmas. But we like working with the Hatchers a lot. They're great folks. December 3rd at 7 p.m. is our next Ag Board meeting, and this is open to the public. Our meetings are at the county building on Falling Creek Road, and again, December 3rd at 7 p.m. Our Ag Board meeting is always open to the public, so join us if you want to. And then January 20th, Spring Lake at 6 p.m. There will be the Bedford beef producers. They will be having an educational meeting, basically talking to folks about estate planning in regards to agriculture. And you can be in farming or just interested in farming, have cows, not have cows. It's really, if this is something that you think you could learn from, they invite you. Again, Spring Lake at 6 p.m. If you want more information, you can talk to Scott Baker, who is our county extension agent, and his office number is 540-586-7675. All right, so please remember to explore all of our local ag podcasts, and you can download the free Media Squatch Plus app to access this and numerous other local podcasts, and we invite you to discover and enjoy them all. This is a great resource for really staying in the loop with your community, so wonderful option there. And we're always, always, always grateful for Media Squatch and their crew. They're making the local ag podcast a reality, putting up with us and the trains and all the things. So we're always grateful. Big thanks to our guest today. And we want to wish everyone listening a very happy Thanksgiving. We hope it's filled with love, good food, and great memories. This is Melody Divers reminding you to be good to yourself and be good to others.